Hello and welcome to Yesteryear's Mac Games, where today we're exploring a downright peculiar title from 1995 called Vitamin. This top-down shooter's theme is insects and weirdness, and it's apparent immediately. Boot the game and the intro sequence will dish you out a bit of story through the medium of pre-rendered mosquitoes. In this, the sorcerer and his apprentice are consulting the spirits. The apprentice, by the way, is you. You play a bulgy-eyed, tooty-mouthed bug. The sorcerer explains to the hero that Baron von Rosenkopf, that translates into Rosehead, is poised to invade. Unenthusiastic about this prospect, the sorcerer instructs you to juice up through devouring the succulent vitamins of your fallen foes. This will result in you becoming strong enough to put a stop to the Baron's imperialistic aims. After this, you're plonked into the title screen. The bizarre main image doesn't make much sense to newcomers to the game, but they rarely did back then. When you've finished wondering exactly what sort of scene this is supposed to be, start the game with a swift click. Gameplay is easy to pick up, but tricky to master. Move around this peculiar world and shoot at anything with a face. Hostiles may be sat on their own like whatever these things are, or may conga line around like these bugs. They come from all sorts of directions, dropping their delicious vitamins as you blast them to bits. Static objects seem to drop more. It's beneficial to finish them off while you're nice and close in order to swoop in and collect all the vitamins before they scatter. Otherwise, said vitamins float idly around when dropped. Don't get too carried away trying to collect them all, as you only have one life. Yup, no restarts, no second chances. Once your life bar has been depleted, it's game over. Vitamin is unforgiving, and quite happy to eject you back into the main menu without any warning. Combine that with the type of level design that punishes anyone who hasn't memorised everything about it, and by modern standards, it does seem a touch harsh. Back in the 80s and 90s, of course, this was how shorter games eked out their replayability. I wasn't good enough at the game to get through it, so I poked around in the resources file to see how long it was. I think this game has 4 sets of levels, comprising of 3 stages each. The game's weird art style permeates just about everything. I mean, what's the warlock got in his head? Why do vitamins look like donuts? Why are there drawing mannequins twiddling around on the ground? And what the heck is going on here? We're not just limited to bugs after all. The Baron has a number of weird humanoids as part of his horde. Riding bazookas, applauding nothing, mounting plants? At least they aren't all hostile. You have here what the game's website terms your assistant. This unfortunate shaped soul will sell you power-ups and other useful things at the end of a level for the vitamins you've collected. And it's nice to have options. I found that the front and back laser is the best selection to make first, as with it you can fire behind you. Super important to stop particular waves of bugs in Stage 2 from rear-ending you and wasting vital life essence. Purchasing priority should of course be restocking the health bar, but as well as weapons, you can also up your speed and attach a few shields to harden you up. Critical stuff. A fully stocked fly thing looks flat out chaotic and lays waste to more or less anything in its way. The vitamins then stop the gameplay from getting stale. Gobbling the donuts and knobbly spheres keep you on your toes, while the skull vitamins need to be avoided, as they deplete you of your power-ups on contact. With the exception of a few levels where your route is restricted by one-touch insta-kill rocks, you will need all the manoeuvring space you can get. Moving objects spiral around the screen like an unknotted balloon that's been let go. Everything else will launch projectiles at you. I wouldn't call it bullet hell. It's not that intense, but it definitely needs concentration. All in all, Vitamin is well thought of by those that remember it, although it certainly wasn't for everyone. A common gripe was that it felt a bit slow compared to similar titles. The game's premise makes it easy to remember. It's not just another space shooter, and with compatibility including systems 7 through 9, across 68K and PPC Max, as well as emulators Basilisk 2 and Sheepshaver, the title is relatively accessible today. You can find a download link in the description below. If you enjoyed this retro review of Vitamin, be sure to subscribe. There will be many more forays into the realms of yesteryear's Mac games in the future. I've covered a number of other titles from this era, so be sure to check those out too. So as ever, thanks ever so much for watching.